Hey everybody!
Hi, it's Ken and Kathy Cushman with Cushman Coaching and Consulting.
Really excited to be here this week.
Talking to you about what really matters. And this week we're going to be talking about
Purpose.
purpose.
I apologize that we didn't post this sooner. We had some challenges with Facebook and hacking and our email, and so we were a little bit challenged this week, but we're here. And hopefully some of you will be there with us or you're watching it later. But this week we are talking about purpose. What is purpose? What's the importance of it?
Why does it matter? And what is purpose? And one of the things I was thinking about when I was thinking about this was I was thinking, for me, a lot of times I think I kind of collapse purpose with what I think I'm supposed to be doing. Like doing for work or doing for a living or my career. And I think that can be part of it, but it's not my purpose. And I think that's really important to keep those separated or to make that really distinct, because I know that can be problematic, or it has been for me in the past.
Mm-hmm. Recently we've really been looking at the concept of ikigai. And ikigai is a Japanese concept, and it's really kind of the roughest translation would be reason for being. And for me, that's what my purpose is, my reason for being. Mm-hmm. I know this in the work that I've done over the last 30 years in personal and professional transformation, that the majority of the people that I've met have not been connected to their purpose. Mm-hmm. And I think that's true out in the world. Maybe 2%, people are really connected to their purpose. Their, why. Why are they here on the planet? Purpose really, it could be something that really centers us or grounds us or calls us forth. Mm-hmm. Many years ago, I found that I could actually make a living, by being my purpose or working in that area. And it's almost like it's not a job, because it really it's filling what's most important to me, what really matters to me. I was talking about ikigai. I started talking about that, and it relates to or defined as a reason for being in some cities like Okinawa and different places in Japan. They say that their longevity, and these are like blue regions where people live well over 100 years old. More people, more of their population lives that long over any population in the world. And they contribute their longevity to ikigai, right? Really living from their purpose, from their reason of being. And it's a really, really powerful place to operate from and to live from. If you're out there or you're watching, make sure you comment, ask a question, let us know you're there, say hi.
It's Ken and Kathy Cushman with Cushman Coaching and Consulting, and we are talking about what matters, and today we happen to be talking about purpose, your purpose. So what does that mean to you? How does that show up in your life? How does that occur in your life? I was thinking about it today, and I was thinking of, did you? Okay. I was thinking about it today, and I was thinking about one of the things about it is I can express my purpose in pretty much anything I do, right? If I'm being conscious, right? Even those small, seemingly mundane things that we do, if I'm connected to my purpose, it makes doing that so much more important. So I'll just give you... So, cleaning the bathroom, mundane, there is no one that likes cleaning the bathroom, right? Mundane, but for me, like one of the things I believe my purpose is to make the world better, make the world around me better, for the people around me. And so if I look at it from that, when I'm doing that mundane chore, I'm looking at how am I serving that purpose in this small little thing. How am I serving the people around me by cleaning this space?
And what's your answer?
It is that it makes people feel better when the bathroom is clean. I feel better. You feel better, and that's kind of that is my purpose, is to have people around me experience feeling comfort. And I think cleanliness and cleaning leads to comfortable and safe. And so that's how I tie that into my purpose.
I try to remember when it really became something for me, because I was never really connected to purpose. I don't think I ever really thought about it.
Right.
It wasn't a question. I at 32 and a half is when I walked into my first transformational training, and I didn't even have a vision. Like, they asked me what my vision was, and I thought they were talking about eyesight. Because the vision outside of eyesight really didn't, resonate for me, or it didn't attach a meaning to it. I mean, I'm sure I may have heard it at some point, but it really wasn't right there for me. And I began looking for, what is it? What is it? What's out in the future to call me forward? And in the beginning, it became it was more material, I think, is what really, in the very beginning, when I walked into training, I wanted to be more successful, in my career, and make more money, and move along in the company, and have a better relationship. And, those were kind of my goals, right? And then it was through the work that I began to see that there was something even bigger for me, a big why. And the value in it, for me, is when I'm connected to my purpose, to my why, it calls forth a different part of who I am. I seem to have easier access to those qualities within me, like my confidence, or my power, or my courage, my passion, the things that I need, or the qualities that are important, to creating a result. And, that big why, my purpose, gives me that. It kind of anchors me to that.
And I think part of that for me is that my purpose is something greater than me, something bigger than myself.
Yeah.
Right.
So when my fear comes up, or my doubts come up, and it does.
Right.
Fear doesn't go away. Fear is always there. I talk to people about this in level 1 of the training, that fear, isn't something that we want to get rid of. And I don't know that you can. Fear is actually a tool that serves us. That keeps us from putting the hand in the fire, or stepping out in front of a bus. So fear can be a very powerful tool, but when it starts showing up in areas where, it limits us, then that's where we want to do it. So what do? Well, we could access different parts of us, our confidence, our courage, our trust, and then, to step through that fear. Right? And so, having a big why, a purpose, supports me at getting access, I think, quicker and even more powerfully to those qualities that can really support me in moving forward in whatever it is. What is your purpose? If you're out there, tell us what your purpose is. Ask questions. Let us know that you're there. If you're watching later, comment too. We'll respond. Or if you have a question, direct message either Kathy or myself. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, what is your purpose, and how does it show up in life? I wanted to, this is Ken and Kathy Cushman with Cushman Coaching and Consulting, and we're here talking about what really matters. And today we're talking about purpose, right? And I wanted to add one thing to, you were talking about how you now have a career where you feel like you live your purpose. And I think I want to say this for a lot of people, because there's been a lot of times in my life where I've had jobs that I was like, this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing, like, I don't know. Like, I think I'm supposed to be doing something. But how we can express our purpose no matter what we do for a living. And we can have our purpose show up. And sometimes we have to do things for a living that aren't what we feel like we want to do. But if we're doing it from a place of, this is how I'm, serving my community, right, in some way, or this is how I'm serving others in some way, then it becomes easier for me to do those things with great love and great care. Because I have a tendency to, in my past, do something more begrudgingly, right, and not with such great care. At times, right? I've had jobs that I've not taken as much care with because I felt like for whatever reason, that wasn't as important as doing something that makes a difference in the world. Well, when I really think about it, everybody really has a big impact in the world in all kinds of different ways. In the people that you meet and how you touch them and how you move with them and how you speak to them. And you never know what's happening with people, particularly in these days. So when you're out in the world just doing your job that may not be your purpose, but maybe is what pays the bills, if I can access those ways of being that support me in my purpose, the care, the love, the connection, then not only am I going to be better at whatever I'm doing, I'm going to feel different about it. My experience of myself and the world around me will be different.
Well, I know what you had said earlier really, ties in here. Mm-hmm. How I look at the situation. How I interpret it, like using the perspective from my purpose. How does this serve my purpose?
Right.
When I can tie that together, even like you said, the mundane things like cleaning the bathroom, mm-hmm. right? Or it could be what I'm doing as a job right now to generate income or money to serve what I'm doing in the future. Again, it's all perspective. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily the truth.
Right.
But a way to look at it that empowers you.
Right.
Right. And if we can keep it connected to our purpose, mm-hmm. right, what really matters to us, then, for me, it's, it builds within myself. It builds confidence. It builds courage. Mm-hmm. And it's just a very powerful tool.
And not just confidence and courage, but I want to say a feeling of, for me, I want to say inner peace. Right? Really a strong feeling of inner peace is what that creates. Because if my purpose is tied to my job, if something happens to that job, then I'm screwed. Like if my purpose is tied to being a trainer and then there's a pandemic, I can't do that.
Many of us actually ran into that little bit of a hurdle.
Yeah.
And I think that actually shed some light that I was really attached to that. Because my, felt like that was it. And it was in for, even it was just briefly, which might have been a few weeks. I really felt like things had ended. Like my purpose had ended. It actually kind of felt like that because of that perspective that I had.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Which I had a really good friend, Luis Mercado from Mexico, Korea. He really supported me at beginning to look outside of that. Mm-hmm. Right? And we began to look at this whole virtual world opportunity that, 3 years ago, I would have told you it was you were nuts.
It was impossible.
I would have never thought of even doing what we're doing today or doing the trainings that we do, currently online. I would have told you what couldn't be done because I was, looking from a very narrow perspective. but it was even with what he had said too, really looking to why I do this and the reason that I do this, and then let that call forth a different perspective. So really looking to my purpose, and then go, okay, how do we have this happen? So the mechanism that for me, that traveling around the world and doing trainings in Mexico and China, Taiwan, Europe, United States, Canada, like doing that was really fulfilling my purpose, but there were other ways to do that.
Right.
And so again, reconnecting with purpose, called forth different mechanisms to start, and different perspectives to start seeing new possibilities. Hi, if you're out there and you're joining us, it's Ken and Kathy Cushman with Cushman Coaching and Consulting. This week we are talking about purpose.
Yeah, if you're out there, give us a little hi. Say hello or ask a question if you want.
Or share what your purpose is or how you use purpose in your life.
Yeah. There was one other thing I wanted to say, and it had to do with what you were talking about. Is one of the things you said is about your friends supporting you, about Lois supporting you, and I just think that's so important, and I want everyone to think about, you all have people in your life that are always there supporting you, or that want to be there and support you, so think about that. Remember those people that are, always on your team. Sometimes you may get annoyed with them because they may push you, but I think it's just a real important part of moving forward in my life, is always having people around me, a community that will support me in moving forward.
Yeah, community is important. And, being, whether it's friends or, maybe it's a more structured community that you're part of, but having people who give us feedback or support us at really staying connected to what really matters. I think people are starting to really begin to see that being connected to a big why is important.
Yeah.
And there's been, a lot of books written lately, and I think studies done at this whole phenomenon of purpose and reason. So I know that it's one of the areas that we really focus on. We're actually working on a program that hopefully will release sometime towards the end of next year, that's all focused around my reason for being. And that's our ikigai program. And you'll hear more about that as we go into it. We've been really looking at it for the last couple of years as we've been developing our virtual programs, and very excited about that group of people living from purpose and supporting each other and staying on track with living from their purpose.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking more about that as we go forward into the future. I know we're coming up to the end of the year, and it's time, where people really start looking forward to 2023. Can you believe that? 2023.
Yeah.
We started on our journey with Summit as far as us delivering trainings back in 2001, and it's hard to believe that it's been 21 years, and next year is another year. All the people that we've had an opportunity to experience and be with and work with, and a lot of it has been around this very topic.
Yeah.
People connecting to what really matters to them and taking action on it. And for those of you, if you don't know us or you don't know about transformational trainings, this is something that's very important. I highly recommend finding something to begin your journey. We offer trainings too for people beginning their transformational journey. We have one coming up in January. But find something to support you at looking outside of what you see possible for yourself. By connecting to a big why in your life, right, to move you forward. I know this. You could have 2023 be your best year so far.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of you out there that have created some extraordinary results in your life. Right? And there's always a what's next. And I think people who get or experience these transformational journeys or this transformational type work get that. And that's why you see them keep coming back or sharing this with other people, because it really is a powerful tool to support you.
And there's always more room to grow and challenge yourself and take yourself to a new level.
I know this, connected to my purpose, how far I've come. And I know the more that I can stay connected to that and have my actions and everything that I do be consistent with that, and I'm acting consistent with that, I can't wait to meet the man that I'm going to be in 5 years. Next week, I'll be 52. No, excuse me. I'm sorry. 62. I'm sorry. So I wish I was 52. No, I don't. It's been an amazing journey. And I look forward to, many, many, many more years. And I know what's going to support with that is staying connected to what really matters. And that's my purpose. Yeah. To really be an inspiration and a catalyst for change in other people. Really creating a world that, people get they matter. And we're part of something bigger. A world where people really stand for each other. A unified world. Everybody wins. And that's what gets me out of bed in the morning. Whether I'm going to work to make money or I'm living, doing something, that makes a difference for someone in that moment. Those are the things that keep me inspired. Those are the things that, keep my passion alive. Mm-hmm. By connecting to what's really important. My purpose, my why. If you have a comment, take a risk. Share something, ask a question, just say hi, let us know you're there. Maybe this is your first time, or maybe you do this a lot. But we're just getting started with this, and we love that you join us. The topic is purpose.
And it's Ken and Kathy Cushman with Cushman Coaching and Consulting. And we're talking about what really matters. Talking about purpose today. What's your purpose? How do you purpose?
Whether you're focused on your health or really taking your business to the next level or increasing your income, doing things that are consistent with what really matters to you will support those other goals.
Yeah.
Finding what that is. Get on a journey. You may not find it immediately, but stay on the journey. Be in the question.
Yes.
Like staying with the question, you'll see it. But I think what happens for people, they don't stay on that question. They want the answer and they can't find it. They kind of give up or think, oh, I don't have one, or this is too hard.
Well, and I can really relate to that, because I know that there have been a lot of times where I felt like there's no way I can live my purpose, so oh well. Mm-hmm. I was going to say something else. But
keep it clean, keep it clean.
So, and sometimes I would feel frustrated that way, especially when I first started this work. Is because I felt like what I did really made no difference and didn't matter, and that there was no possibility of me doing something that would have the impact or make a difference in the way that I wanted. I didn't think it was possible. So I pretty much gave up and just went, okay, I'm just going to do this. It's a job. I'll go here from 9 to 5 and, blah, blah, blah. And I think that happens for a lot of people. And one of the things I was thinking that might, that I think is important in purpose is creating your vision, right? Around your purpose, creating a vision around that purpose. Mm-hmm. Or is it the other way around? I'm not really sure.
I think they're tied very closely together.
Yeah.
Because I can have a vision that's not connected to my purpose.
Right.
Right. And when they are, there's extra power in that.
Right.
Right. But sometimes there may be something that's not lined up with it. I know for me, as I said before, I didn't have vision or didn't have purpose, before I started this work. But when I did, I think it is really one of the main tools that supported me in what I did, is keeping that. How the state of how I felt within me, like really connected to the power within, that essential part of who we are, our life, our life force, our I don't know, our authentic self. It's where all the qualities that are in here. And it just supported me on, I wasn't happy with what I was doing. I think, I was in sales and I was sales manager for a small citrus company. And, it was kind of like this, like, I don't know I had the words until after I did the training, but it was almost like if this, like what I'm doing, the experience of my life, if this is it, it's not it. Like it was, there had to be something more. I kind of had this behind, in the back of my head that there's got to be something more. I wasn't doing anything to find it. It was like I had blinders on that said, this is the, the path that you've been on. This is, your life. And it was very limiting. But I didn't know another possibility. I mean, I learned about sales. I grew up in that business, and I stayed on that path. And, successful. My life was fine, but again, not passionate, just bored, and just kind of on automatic, going through the motions. They say I could do my job blindfolded.
And I think that's the big thing is it's about the experience. Right? Nothing else in your life may change, but your whole experience of life will change if you're connected to your purpose. You could do the same job, have the same bills, have the same whatever. Coming from a connection to my purpose changes the whole experience of that for me. Has me be grateful, like you said, feel powerful, connected, and for me, like a really strong sense of peace.
Yeah. And I think, with everything that's been going on in the world, there's been a lot of, crap going on. And a lot of
nice.
negative experience. And staying connected to what matters to me, right, supports me not getting distracted by some of those things that I can't have any impact on immediately. Doesn't mean I can't take some action, but I know this. I get connected to what's really important to me, what really matters to me, and I use that to really pull forth the most powerful part of who I am.
Yeah.
And, those of you who hadn't had a chance to do these trainings, I invite you to start your journey today. If you're interested in this, really, comment on the video later, say, hey, I'm interested. We'll contact you directly and tell you a little bit more. We can do an interview with you and support you, really looking at, what really matters to you and, how you might begin to create it in the coming year. I know this, right now, you have the power to create something really extraordinary. Right? It's right in front of you, but you're also limited by some of the things that have stopped you. And that's how we support people, is helping them themselves move back past the blinders, connect to what really matters to them, right, and begin to act on it. And we even offer a money-back guarantee on our process. So if you're interested, just you comment that later, even if it's days or weeks down the road, we'll follow up with you and support you. Or you can contact Kathy or myself directly if you're here at Facebook. And I'll actually post in the comments before we end our phone number, which is 954-445-1206. I'll put that in the comments. Or you can visit our website at cushmancoachingandconsulting.com. There's a lot of information about our breaking through process and other things that we're up to. While you're there, register for our email list, and we do a drawing each month. The drawing now is for a full part 1, which is $7.95 value. So register. We're going to draw each month on the 1st, and today's the 1st, so tonight we will be pulling the drawing.
You're doing a drawing tonight. Yay.
So make sure you register. And
yes,
even if you miss it, like after we do the drawing, if it's tomorrow, register anyway, because we'll do another drawing next month.
Next month, yeah.
Right. We'll also have our next training. Our next breaking through process begins on January 11th. It's a January 11th through the 15th. And again, if you're interested or you have someone else interested, please contact. We have some great deals that we're offering right now to support people going into the new year.
Also, Ken is going to be doing a podcast or a live with Dennis Becker. So those of you that know Dennis and know Ken, that should be really interesting. I'm really excited to hear the two of them start talking about some distinctions and whatever other craziness they get into. But I'm really excited. I can't wait for you guys to kick that off, because that should be a lot of fun.
So we'll be letting you know what the date and time is coming up, but it will be a talk with the transformational trainers, and we'll be telling stories. We'll be talking about some distinctions of the training, about the history. Dennis goes way back to the beginning. Some of you know Dennis Becker. Dennis Becker and I think we fell in love with each other when we met many years ago. And he's been my mentor and good friend, and supporting me and developing as a trainer and as a man. He also was very instrumental in our finalizing of our level 2, our virtual level 2. And Dennis supports us in the level 2 also, so he's a great trainer to be with.
Yeah.
Don't miss out on that opportunity that's coming up in January too. It's 2 weeks after the level 1. So I think it actually starts on the 25th. And again, if you want more information, just say I'm interested in comments even later, or direct comments directly to Ken or Kathy, or on our Cushman Coaching and Consulting Facebook page. So we're going to wrap it up for this episode. This is Ken and Kathy with Cushman Coaching and Consulting.
So think about your purpose. What are you here for? What are you doing? What's important to you? What really matters? Let some of those questions roll around in your head a little bit. And if you want to chat about it, you want to talk about it, call us.
Yeah. Why are you here?
Yeah.
Don't get attached to the answer. It's more important about being in the question.
Yeah.
The question allows the answer to change, and it does. We change. Mm-hmm. Things evolve. Opportunity, right, is to stay in the path. I keep connecting with my purpose, and sometimes my purpose continues to evolve. So stay with yours. Stay on track.
So wonderful spending time with you again. Can't wait to see you next week. We'll have another topic. Any idea what do you want to talk about next week? What are we going to talk about?
Well, we're in the holidays, so
yeah.
I think we're going to be talking about relationship and family.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Right,
we can't talk about that too much during the holidays.
Yeah, and actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is it next? I was thinking it's going to be my birthday on...
No, it's actually the day before your birthday.
Okay, so the day before my birthday.
Day before birthday!
Come and join me for...
pre-birthday party!
Our podcast, the day before my birthday. Celebrate my 62nd birthday with us.
Okay.
We're going to say, have a great rest of your day, and look forward to talking to you or hearing from you soon. We love you. Bye.
Bye.